Sometimes life doesn't ask permission before it changes everything. Becoming begins the moment you decide that loss will not be the end of your story. Welcome to the Seasons of Becoming, a collection of letters for women learning that life's hardest seasons don't end her story. They begin a new chapter. I'm so glad you're here. Dear Radiant One, sometimes life changes before our hearts have a chance to catch up. Today, I wasn't planning on writing this letter. I was simply taking a walk. And somewhere between one step and the next, my father came to mind. He passed away several years ago now. And as I walked and thought about him, I realized something I've never been able to put into words. Healing wasn't what happened after grief. Healing began when grace made room for gratitude. And gratitude quietly became growth. I want to sit with you in that for a little while today, because I don't think I'm the only one who needed to hear it. I've been a nurse for many years now, and one thing that this profession has quietly taught me is that grief wears many different faces. Sometimes it sits beside a hospital bed. Sometimes it walks out of a courtroom after a divorce. Sometimes it quietly closes the door after the last child leaves home. Sometimes it hangs up an employee badge after 30 years. Loss changes its clothes. But grief always asks the same question. Who am I now? And after years of nursing, I don't think that's the wrong question anymore. Because the women who eventually found peace weren't the ones who got their old lives back. They were the women who slowly discovered that something beautiful could grow from broken ground. I want to tell you about something that I've been sitting with since my dad passed away. When he died, I thought that I understood grief. I was a nurse. I had walked with families through their darkest moments. But then it was my own loss. And I realized there's a difference between witnessing grief and carrying it. Because I didn't just grieve my father. I grieved the things left unsaid, the conversations that didn't happen, the version of our relationship that I hoped we'd have one day. And underneath all of that was guilt. Not the kind that makes you a bad person, the human kind. The kind that whispers, I should have called more. I should have said that sooner. Why didn't I? And for a long time, I thought my job was to push past that guilt, to move on, to get to gratitude. But here is what I've learned and what I want to offer you today. You cannot get to gratitude by skipping grace. Grace has to come first. Grace toward Him for being human. Grace towards yourself for being human too. Grace toward the imperfect, irreversible, real life that was yours together. It was only when I stopped demanding that things should have gone different that I finally had room to be grateful for what was. And it was only from that place of gratitude that I could take my first real step towards growth. I've been thinking about this as a journey through seasons, not steps, not stages, with timelines. Seasons, because seasons don't necessarily follow a schedule, and neither does healing. Season 1 is loss. Something ends, something that mattered, a person, a relationship, a role, a dream, a chapter of your life that you thought would last longer. Loss comes in many forms, and not all of them make the news. Some of the heaviest losses are the quiet ones, the ones you grieve alone. Season 2 is grief.
You sit with what ended. This is the season most people want to rush through. But grief isn't a problem to be solved. It's a love with nowhere to go. It deserves to be honored, not rushed. Season 3 is grace. You stop punishing yourself. You stop demanding that things should have been different. You forgive what couldn't have been different, including yourself. Grace doesn't mean the loss didn't matter. Grace means you're finally letting yourself be human. Season 4 is gratitude. Now your heart has room. Room to remember the beauty without denying the pain. Room to hold both the grief and the gift at the same time. Gratitude doesn't arrive by forcing it. It arrives when grace has cleared the way. Season 5 is growth. Now you're ready to become someone new. Not because the pain disappeared, because it became part of your foundation. You are not starting over. You are standing from everything you've survived. I think becoming begins the moment we stop asking why life changed and begin asking who we're becoming because it did.
I want to say something very clearly today. Radiant isn't a healing channel. It's a becoming channel. Healing is the road. Becoming is the destination. And you cannot rush the road. Everywhere else online, someone is telling you how to get there faster, move on sooner, bounce back stronger, stay positive. Radiant says something different. Sit here with me. You don't have to rush this. You are not behind. You are in your season. I am still walking through my own growth season. I haven't arrived. I'm not writing to you from the other side of something finished. I'm writing to you from the road, right beside you, carrying grace and gratitude as the sustenance I need for this trip. Before we part today, I want to offer you one simple thing to carry you through this week. It's not an assignment. It's not a challenge. It's a question. Wherever you are in your own season of loss, what if this week you gave yourself just a little bit more grace? Not because you've earned it, not because you're ready, just because you're human. And being human is enough. Grace first, gratitude will follow. Growth is already on its way. Before I leave you today, I want to say, may you find the grace to release what you cannot change, the gratitude to treasure what was, and the courage to keep becoming. May your heart be gentle with itself this week. May you remember that healing is rarely hurried. May you trust that even here, especially here, something beautiful is still growing. May you find moments of peace when your mind feels restless, strength when the road feels long, and hope when you cannot see what comes next. And may you never forget that your story is not over. You are deeply worthy of love. You are worthy of rest. And you are becoming one gentle season at a time. Before Sunday, be gentle with yourself. Thank you for letting me spend these moments with you. I'm Nadine. I see you. And I'll meet you right back here for the next chapter of the seasons of becoming. Next.